So with Codecademy, what we're trying to do is we're trying to teach people the skills they need in order to be competitive in the 21st century. So we see all around the world with sort of a real gap between what's taught in schools and what people need to learn in order to be successful. Mostly these programming skills, digital skills online. And so I was in college with a friend of mine at Columbia in New York, and we saw all of our friends struggling without these skills. So we built a way for them to learn it themselves. We built something that was easy online for them to learn. It's on their mobile phones, and it so far has taught tens of millions of people around the world the basic skills they need to be competitive in the 21st century. We think what Codecademy is doing is equipping people with digital skills, mostly programming, that helps them to make things and find jobs in the 21st century and remain competitive, especially as the needs of jobs in the 21st century, the needs to create things, just an understanding of the world through programming and code literacy becomes really important. I think everything is being affected, whether you look at fields like journalism, where every publication is moving online. Journalists, in order to tell a story, now need to better understand how the internet and technology works, or a field like biology, computation has become computational biology. Really every field is affected by what's happening with programming and computers. The Hour of Code was a program put on in the US that tried to, and the rest of the world, that tried to get school children all learning just for 1 hour of programming, and it was a sensation across the world. President Obama in the US endorsed it, and millions of school children, as you mentioned, did this program. And we launched an iPhone app at that time as well that made it easy for anyone to just take 1 hour of content on their phone. So we find of those 24 million that have taken courses on Codecademy, we find that there are more than 70% of them come from outside of the US. So we're seeing a lot in emerging markets, so a lot in China, a lot in Brazil, in Russia, and India, and then a lot in Europe as well. So really seeing a good distribution of users across sort of the whole world. This is just not just a mainstream phenomenon. It's really affecting every single country. Growing very quickly, in double digits percentage every month. Yeah, there are a lot of people who are teaching similar skills, but I don't think anyone teaches them in the same way we do. We try to teach them in a way that's fun, engaging, and anywhere you are. So small bite-sized pieces, so no videos, no tests and quizzes, just simple exercises that anyone can do. And I think in doing that, we're alone, and I think the biggest of all of those companies. We work with a lot of governments across the world. We were in the United Kingdom next year, and every middle school and high school, they have to teach computer science and computer programming. So we're working with the government there, with lots of schools in the UK to make that happen. We work with other governments, Malaysia, for instance, the government of Colombia, starting to do more and more of these partnerships as more and more countries find it important to teach students and also individuals looking for jobs the skills of computer science. We always want to add more to be accessible to everyone across the whole world. So I think now really starting to focus more on internationalization and supporting all of those users across the world by being in their language.